Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to knit 3 different adorable hat patterns for newborn babies. We'll cover everything from the basic garter stitch to a little more intricate designs, so whether you're a beginner or have some knitting experience, you'll find something here. I'll walk you through each step of the process, from casting on to binding off, and we'll even explore some fun variations. Let's get started and knit some tiny hats. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into the wonderful world of knitting tiny hats for newborn babies. We'll be covering everything from choosing the right materials to adding those adorable finishing touches. First, let's talk about the requirements for our little hats. We need to consider the season. A summer hat will be much lighter than a winter one. We also need to think about the baby's comfort. Soft, natural fibers are always best for delicate skin. And of course, we want something that's easy to put on and take off, without being too loose or too tight. We'll discuss yarn weight and needle sizes as we go along, tailoring our choices to the specific hat design. Next, let's gather our materials and tools. For yarn, I recommend a soft, hypoallergenic yarn like merino wool or a cotton blend. The amount you'll need will depend on the hat size and design, but it's always better to have a little extra than to run out halfway through. You'll also need a pair of needles. The size will depend on your chosen yarn and pattern, so make sure to check the pattern instructions carefully. You'll also need scissors, a yarn needle for weaving in ends, and any decorative elements you plan to use. Now, how do we determine the size? This is crucial. You'll need the baby's head circumference. If you're knitting for a baby you haven't met yet, you can use average measurements for newborns, but it's always best to have a specific measurement if possible. We'll go through a simple method to calculate the number of stitches you'll need to cast on based on this measurement. Remember, a slightly loose fit is better than a tight one for a newborn's delicate head. Let's get started with the actual knitting. We'll begin with a basic hat pattern, perfect for beginners. We'll walk through each step, from casting on the stitches to decreasing for the crown. I'll show you how to read a simple knitting pattern and explain all the techniques involved. We'll pay close attention to maintaining even tension throughout the process, which is key to achieving a neat and professional finish. Now, for something a little more advanced, let's tackle a winter hat helmet for a boy. This design is a little more complex, involving shaping and seaming, but the result is a wonderfully warm and stylish hat. We'll cover techniques like working in the round, increasing and decreasing stitches strategically, and creating a snug fit around the ears and neck. I'll show you how to add a cute little pom-pom on top for an extra touch of charm. We'll also discuss different ways to add decorative elements, such as embroidery or small appliques, to personalize the hat. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into the wonderful world of knitting tiny hats for newborn babies. We'll be exploring 3 different adorable designs, a hat with ears, a classic cap, and a delicate openwork style. Get your needles and yarn ready, because we're about to get started. First up, the hat with ears. This is such a cute design, perfect for adding a touch of whimsy to your little one's outfit. We'll begin by casting on a number of stitches appropriate for the desired head circumference. Remember, you can always adjust the number of stitches depending on the yarn weight and needle size you're using. I'll be using a soft, baby-friendly merino wool blend today, and 5mm needles. We'll knit in the round, creating the main body of the hat. Once we reach the desired height, we'll divide the stitches to create the ear sections. This involves carefully separating the stitches and working them individually to shape the ears. It might seem a little tricky at first, but with a little patience and practice, you'll master it in no time. I'll show you exactly how to do this step by step in the video, so don't worry if you're a beginner. We'll then decrease stitches gradually to create a nice, rounded shape for the ears. Finally, we'll carefully bind off the stitches and weave in the ends. Adding a little pom-pom or a cute button to the top of each ear is the perfect finishing touch. Next, let's move on to the classic cap. This is a simple yet elegant design, perfect for everyday wear. For this hat, we'll again cast on a number of stitches, but this time we'll be working back and forth in rows instead of in the round. This method allows for a flatter panel that's easier to seam together. We'll knit a few inches, then begin to decrease stitches along the sides to create a gently sloping crown. This gradual decrease is key to achieving a well-fitting and comfortable hat. Once we've decreased to the desired number of stitches, we'll bind off and seam the sides together. Remember to leave a small opening at the crown for turning. A simple rolled edge finish will add a professional touch. This style is incredibly versatile. You can easily customize it with different colors and textures of yarn. Now, for something a little more intricate, the openwork hat. This design is perfect for showcasing your knitting skills and adding a touch of sophistication to your baby's wardrobe. We'll be using a delicate lace pattern, which involves a combination of knit and purl stitches, along with yarn overs and decreases. I'll be using a pattern that creates a beautiful, airy texture without being too complicated. The key to this design is to carefully follow the pattern instructions and maintain consistent tension throughout. Again, we'll work in the round, creating a seamless hat. The openwork pattern will add a lovely touch of texture and visual interest, making this hat a true standout piece. Remember to choose a yarn that complements the openwork design. A lighter weight yarn will showcase the pattern beautifully. Once the main body is complete, we'll decrease stitches to shape the crown and bind off. A simple decorative stitch along the brim will add a final touch of elegance. Finally, let's talk about decorating your finished hats. The possibilities are endless. You can add embellishments like ribbons, buttons, flowers, or even small crochet details. For a simple yet effective touch, try adding a small embroidered design. A tiny heart or a simple floral motif can add a personal touch. Remember to use baby-safe materials for all embellishments. You can also experiment with different yarn colors and textures to create unique and personalized hats. Don't be afraid to experiment and let your creativity shine. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to like and subscribe for more knitting projects.